Today, I am going to explain to you an American superhero film named Spider-Man. No Way Home. Spoilers ahead, look out and take care. The film starts from the absolute last scene of A Long Way From Home, where Mysterio uncovered the genuine personality of Arachnid Man as Peter Parker and maligned Peter Parker for his homicide during the Europe assault. Also outed him as Spider-Man to the public. Parker escapes from a furious group with his girlfriend MJ, and gets once again to his condo, where he discovers that Auntie May has said a final farewell to Peter. Blissful Peter gives the news to them that he has been uncovered before the entire world. Before long, the FBI gets into the loft and hostages Peter Parker, MJ, Ned and Auntie May. Be that as it may, soon they figured out how to be lifted by attorney Matt Murdock. Parker gets back to his secondary school encompassed by a lot of news sources. There, Peter becomes more acquainted with that his college applications have been dismissed, including the utilization of Ned and MJ. For simply being his companions during the Halloween season, Parker got a plan to meet with Dr. Strange. He then, at that point, shows up at Sanctum Sanctorum, asking Strange to cast a spell to cause everybody to fail to remember Peter Parker as Spider-Man in any case. Dr. Strange didn't have the Opportunity Stone since it got annihilated on schedule. Dr. Strange got one more thought in spite of one's notice of the outcomes that could bring about unusual projects. The spell in any case making everybody on the planet for about Peter Parker, Spider-Man including him. Also, nonetheless, the spell is harmed when Peter demands Weir to let his dear companions continue as before, which makes different universes to implode, expecting the spell worked. Parker goes to the Alexander Hamilton Bridge and attempts to persuade a MIT manager to acknowledge Nansen MJ. Nieces of college. Abruptly the bridge is assaulted by Dr. Otto Octavius, who has been entered. In this universe, Dr. Octavius battles Spider-Man, and in the middle, he tears his nanotechnology from his iron bug suit, making it bond with his mechanical arms. When Peter eliminates his veil, Dr. Octavius finds that this isn't the Peter Parker he had recently battled. In view of the nanotech that arises in his mechanical arms, Peter figures out how to control them and makes his automated arms impaired. Peter then, at that point, catches him and set him in a holding cell in the Sanctum Sanctorum. In the Sanctum Sanctorum, we find that the reptile has likewise been caught by Odd with the assistance of MJ and Ned. Peter chooses to catch other potential guests from the universe. Peter then, at that point, finds Electro, who assaults him, yet unexpectedly Sandman shows up there and helps Peter. Peter then prisoners them both and secures them. Sanctum Sanctorum. A destitute Norman Osborn is recovered subsequent to going to a dining experience office building looking for help from Auntie May. Peter, subsequent to realizing it, rapidly shows up. There Peter shares with him that I will definitely send him back home securely. He then, at that point, additionally took Norman with him. Strange needs to send the scoundrels back to their particular universes and meet their demise. Since it's their destiny to bite the dust while battling Bugman anyway, Peter needs to fix and help them prior to sending them back to forestall their demises. He liberates them and limits Strange in the deflect aspect. After a concise battle, Peter then, at that point, takes every one of the 5 scoundrels to Strange's loft. Peter effectively fixes Octavius by utilizing obvious innovation to design a gadget to supplant his messed up inhibitor chip. When Peter fosters the solution for Electro and Reptile, Green Goblin causes them to understand that how Spider-Man treated them before the fix can be managed. For Goblin then, at that point, controls Electro into eliminating the gadget that Peter set on him to fix him. Also, in spite of the best endeavors of Peter and Octavius, the other 4 departure in the guaranteeing fight May got fundamentally harmed by the Goblin, with Peter unfit to save her as she surrenders to her injuries. Dreading the most terrible after no contact from Peter, MJ and Ned unintentionally figured out how to open gateways, utilizing Dr. Strange's sling ring, which they use trying to find Spider-Man from different universes. Ned opens the gateway, and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man shows up there. Ned again opens another entry now. Spider-Man shows up. Ned and MJ observes their Peter, who is defied by MJ in the wake of learning of May's demise. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man then meets the other Spider-Man from their separate universes, who shares their own accounts of losing friends and family, like Andrew Spider-Man losing Gwen Stacy and Tobey Spider-Man losing Uncle Ben. They then, at that point, urge him to battle in May's respect. They coordinate on restoring the excess scalawags. They chose to bait them to the Statue of Liberty, which is currently updated with a monster safeguard of Captain America in his honor. Ned and MJ safeguards the otherworldly box while the Spider-Man struggled with their adversaries together, which was the best hero battle with the screens ever. Electro accommodates with his own universe's Peter and is urged to relinquish his wretched inclinations, yet the free Spider-Man alongside Octavius, who shows up on the scene to help, figured out how to overcome and fix Electro, Sandman and Reptile. In the middle of the fight, Ned frees abnormal from the mirror aspect. Dr. Strange is amazed to see that Peter's arrangement truly worked. Odd them holds onto control of the spell and attempts to safeguard the current universe, as the hindrance is separate between different universes and Strange can't stop it. In the meantime, Parker overwhelms and ruthlessly battles the Goblin as vengeance for May's passing. In any case, without further ado is halted by Peter from his universe and saves him from death. Yet, Green Goblin again shows his evilness and betrays Tobey, as the Goblin diverts the fall for May's passing on. Peter Parker infuses him with the fix, re-establishing him to a remorseful Osborn. To forestall further obliteration, Dr. Strange needs to again make the spell which will eradicate Peter Parker memory from everybody's brain. Has no other choice. Parker demands Odd to project that spell. Strange fixes the spell, sending the substitute Lolifus and their Spider-Man back to their particular universes while causing everybody to neglect Parker's presence. Later Parker shows up to MJ and Ned and attempts to cause them to recollect his reality and attempts to reconnect with MJ and Ned. However, can't force himself to do it and leaves as an unknown Peter Parker. Parker visits May's grave. Joined by Happy, who is likewise now uninformed about his character. Peter guarantees himself to carry on Parker. Then, at that point, makes another suit without any preparation to continue his free heroics in the mid-credit scene. The universe dislodged Eddie Brock and his symbiote friend Venom sit at a bar and talk with the barkeep about other superhuman people and the Blip while considering how to safeguard this new world. The duo are quickly shipped back to their universe by an abnormal spell. Unwittingly, they leave a piece of Venom on the counter and the film closes here. Please, subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel. Thanks for watching.